Inza, and you have Amy with you, and we have all been here pretty much since the beginning. Monat has been around for 7.5 years now, and we've been here for the long haul, and I can confidently say that we are in it for life. We are just so blessed by this company, everything it's done, and it really is our mission now just to help it bless so many other people. So normally I'll go through and talk about how we're vegan, how we're Leaping Money certified, how we use just botanical fragrances, things like that in our products. But really what I want to talk to you about tonight, we're just going to look at some of these. Let's talk about this because we know, because of what this business has done for us financially, that we really want to talk about it, because normally I'll talk about the Cadillac we drive, the trips we've been on, and we will talk about that because we did just get back from Vegas. But really, I want to talk a little about kind of the meat and potatoes of where most people are right now, where we used to be, and how Monat was the changing factor in that. But here's some stats that I found really interesting. And the average American has a credit card debt of almost $7,000. I know people who is far more than that. The average debt for millennials, $30,580, and almost half of all American families have less than $300 in savings. That absolutely was us prior to Monat 7.5 years ago. 40% of people can't make their student loan payments. I've got 4 kids. 2 of them are already out of college. Thankfully, I was able to help them get through college. I've got 1 in there now. But 40% of people cannot make their student loan payments. So we're going to talk a little bit about what this company has done for us, for what it can do for you, basically. So first of all, I want to talk to Amy Campos is with me tonight, and Amy is the director with Monat. She is a founder with Monat, as is Inza. But Amy had something very special happen to her last week. While we were in Vegas, so the Vegas trip is an annual trip that Monat lets everybody earn. It's the easiest trip that they have to earn, and we had 5,000 people there in Vegas. It's an annual trip. The next qualification period starts in just a couple of months. So if you like free trips, if you want to go to Vegas and bring somebody with you, talk to the person who shared this video with you. But in Vegas last week, there was the $1 Million Club induction. This happens at a couple of times a year at the major events that Monat has. And Amy was inducted into the $1 Million Club, which means that she has earned over $1 million in commissions across these past 7.5 years. So Amy, why don't you talk a little bit about your story, and how has that $1 million changed your life the last 7.5 years?
Well, I'll just give a little background on me. I was not in the beauty industry before this. I was a freelance court reporter. I had a freelance court reporting agency, and I was so burned out. So I really wasn't working much, and my back had gone to, where, and so money is not, when you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business, you're not working, you don't have a lot of money coming in. And anyway, about 6 months prior to Monat, I had dabbled in another direct sales company. And I realized pretty quickly, like, this isn't really for me, just some stuff, but I'm so glad I did it, because I realized this industry is where I want to be, like, for life. Sky's the limit. I'm a hard worker, and I can actually get paid for what I'm worth, and court reporting, the insurance companies had come in and they were dictating what everything had changed from when I had started 20 years ago. So anyway, one day, Shannon knows this, and I actually told it in Vegas for the first time. I found myself in my Mercedes that was breaking down and needed brakes. I didn't have the money to fix my brakes. And I found myself in the parking lot of a plasma donation place, because I thought, I'm not trained for anything else. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I need money. I guess I'll sell my plasma. I didn't know what to do. And I called the place from my car. For some reason, I didn't go in. But on the way home, I was like, this is enough's enough. Something has to give. Something has to change. And that night, I said a prayer for a new opportunity. I get chills 7.5 years later. I said a prayer for a new opportunity in direct sales. That was my prayer. And the next day I was still in bed, and I got on Facebook into that other company's team page, you know, and someone had posted in there, has anybody heard about this new hair care company about to launch? So that's how my whole journey started. I prayed for it. And thank God I did. I mean, it's all, so many of us did, you know.
And
so
Amy,
anyway, that's how I got started. And, you know, were you going to say something, Shannon?
Well, I wanted you to share where did you get the money from to buy your product?
So then, I think it was $300 I needed to join, and I didn't have it. And like, where am I going to get this money? Well, my 8th grader at the time had it, and I knew he had it, like in his piggy bank. So I begged him for it. And he's like, are you sure this is going to work? And I'm like, yes, just give me the money now. Because I had to go get it in the bank by 5 or whatever to get it on my debit card, you know. So that's how it all started. And now he is a junior in college in the engineering school. It's a very expensive college. And he's going to come out debt free. So his investment in his mama paid off. So yeah. And then, you know, I was still court reporting. I was transcribing a big trial. And when somebody would come into my head, I'd write them down. And at the top of every hour, I would take a break and message that person. And I've had bad hair my whole life, like frizzy, curly, couldn't do anything with it. And when I was pregnant with my 2 boys, I literally prayed they wouldn't get my hair. That's how bad my hair was. And of course I wanted it blown out. I wanted it silky smooth. You know, you always want what you don't have. So, I got my samples. I was so blown away. I clipped it up in like 6 clips, like I always did. I start drying it. And, I was just like, what is this? Because trust me, when I say I had tried it all, I had tried it all. I have hairstylists in my family. I got everything it cost from the beauty supply house or wherever. So I always used, you know, professional brands, and I never bought any of them again. They didn't work for what I wanted, you know? And so, so I put it up in the 6 clips because I've got thick hair, believe it or not, it's really thick. And I start blowing it out, and I'm like, what's going on? It was just so nice. It wasn't frizzy. And, I took all the clips out and just dried it with my fingers. And I only had used my flat iron on one spot. I can still remember that spot because I was so blown away. And normally I'd get done drying it with the 6 clips and it would just be frizz. And then I would use the flat iron and it would sound like I was doing a flat iron on a piece of straw. And it felt like it, looked like it. It wasn't a pretty process. And so I never did my hair because it would have taken me 2 hours to get just to look like this, which is no big deal. This is like 2 or 3 day old hair. But anyway, I was like, this is something different. This is something different, and signed up and just started telling everybody, like I said. And at 3 months, I was already making more than what I had been making monthly as a court reporter. That's something I was trained to do, something I did for 20 some years. So I told my business partner, I'm like, I'm done. Just use me, you know, if you need to, if you're overbooked, I'm done. And she probably thought I was nuts, you know, and best decision I've ever made in my life. And that's how it all started, you know. So we just have something so different. And I'm not telling you if you have curly hair, it's going to make your hair straight. It just, because people have gorgeous curls and I can make mine really gorgeous and curly. I just prefer it straight. But Shannon, you know, her curls are beautiful. And she used to be, I can say this because she's like my sister now. She used to be a frizz ball, you know, she had frizzy curls and now they're just gorgeous. So anyway, that's my story.
Well, first of all, I straightened my hair today, so nobody's going to be able to see my curls. But when I air dry my hair, maybe I'll show it on the picture. But you know, Amy, since you and I have just, you know, been sideline buddies and just so much we've done together the last 7.5 years, I've just seen your family benefit from this so much, from you personally benefiting from this so much. And, you know, clearly being in the $1 Million Club, you know, this has changed your life. And there are so many people out there that might see this video and they, you know, don't necessarily want to work toward $1 million. They just want an extra $500 a month, which is absolutely where I was when we started this. So, I read an article in I think it was in I can't remember if it was Forbes or the Wall Street Journal, but it was talking about, or Ray Urdaneta, our CEO, was talking about this too, where the magic number of what kind of income would make a big difference in families, especially right now during the inflation and everything, is just $350. Yeah. $350 a month can make a huge impact in families right now. Yeah. So, and that's not really that hard to do in Monat. So, all right. Well, thank you for sharing. You want to say
one more thing, Shannon? No, it's not hard to do at all. And the things that I think of the most when I think back on my journey, it was in the 300, it was in that range. It was when I didn't have to check my bank account before I went to buy groceries. I have chills again. That was huge. We've all talked about that. And then when I got a security system it's $53 a month, but I just didn't have we all thought we were so cool. We have the pad, it lights up. My kids were like, oh my God. Yeah. And it's that stuff is actually the biggest stuff to me, So yeah.
100%.
It's,
and I know you've been able to take your family on trips out of the country to Mexico, all these different things. And, I was in the same boat. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. A vacation prior to Monat for us was taking our kids 3 hours to Nashville. We had never been able to go to the beach, anything like that. So it's just, I tell you, it's just heartwarming when they say money doesn't buy you happiness, but money can give you the opportunity to have choices. Yeah. And when you don't have money, you don't have a lot of choices.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not fun looking at wondering if you have grocery money, So it does make you happier. It does.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, because it allows you easier. It makes life easier. It allows you to say yes to more things. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Absolutely. Have more, give more, share more. All right, Inza. I am so excited that Inza is here with us tonight. This is our first Meet Monat that she's been a part of, but you're going to see her more and more with us on these Thursday nights. So Inza, share a little bit of your story with us, how you became a market partner and what this has done for you.
My favorite word is choice, because that's 100% what this business has given me. But I started at this from a very different place. My father's a cancer survivor, but he survived cancer from naturally. No chemo, no radiation, none of those things. So my family, that was 18 years ago. And so when that happened, it was, something that kind of threw my husband and my family into this, I'm going to look at everything that goes in and on my body. Because there's a lot of people out there that will scour the grocery stores to find the organic broccoli or the organic strawberries, but they'll go one aisle over to buy the $3 shampoo that has more chemicals that are going to go into their body because it takes 26 seconds to get into your bloodstream, versus what the broccoli that would be conventional, that would have the pesticides on it, would do to their body. It's actually a little crazy and backward. So at the time, I was actually searching for a product that I could trust for my family to use. And I was using an organic product from Whole Foods, and my hair literally looked like hay, but it was organic and it was good for my family. So I had hay hair. But basically what happened is I used it and I didn't like it. I didn't like these products. But why, if you guys remember, we've been around long enough, we only had like 9 products when we started. And I used what was meant for volume and fine hair. My hair is like a medium coarseness and not fine. I've got a lot of hair, even though it's poker straight. You guys with curls make me sick, because I've tried everything to get a curl. This is air dried, no curl. But my point is I was just using the wrong thing. And so I love that God gave me that experience, though, because it's allowed me to help so many people, because a lot of people will say, I've tried these products, I didn't like them. 99% of the time, it's because they used the wrong product. At the time, none of us knew any better, right? So I stuck it out, though, because a girlfriend is the one that brought it to me, and she desperately needed an opportunity. The funniest part was I desperately needed an opportunity. I just wasn't admitting it to myself. I saw all the debt we had. I was the one putting stuff back at the grocery store because when I got to the final price, I was like, oh, I'm $50 over what I have in my wallet. So I got to put this back and I got to put that back. And my daughter was like, so embarrassed and all the things. So the crazy part was I didn't even recognize that I needed this opportunity, even though we were up to our eyeballs in debt, because I was still at the place where God, something was going to happen for me and I was going to do something, but I was not going back to work because I have one child. She's now 16. But at the time, we knew we were only going to have one child because unfortunately we had 9 miscarriages after we had our daughter. So we knew at that point in time that we were having one child and I was bound and determined to be home with her. But my husband didn't make enough money for it, but we just weren't open in our minds enough to realize that we really, really needed this. And so I decided to give it a try because of the ingredients. And I really grilled the girl that I spoke with about the financial opportunity because I was a network marketer naysayer. I had been offered every opportunity under the sun, and I said no to every one of them. And I said no to every one of them because what would people think if I was selling something? So it just didn't suit me. I used to own a coffee shop. So when I looked at the compensation plan and I realized, wait a minute, I took out a $40,000 loan to open my coffee shop and I had no guarantee that anything was going to work out for me, but I worked my butt off and it did. And it was a great store. It was a great shop. That when I really dug into the compensation plan, so I came in this basically for a business. I was not here because I had anything to do with beauty. I didn't even know how to curl my hair. I had never, I'd been a tomboy my whole life. I still barely wear makeup. Like I'm not that beauty girl. I'm just not. I'm just a real big natural Nelly. So the ingredients fit me. And then I was like, okay, well, let me check out this compensation plan. And the compensation plan I could tell was robust. So I thought, well, at the time for me, it was $500 to join. And what that meant at the time is we had to pay that initiation fee plus our kit, if you remember correctly. So I actually paid $600 to join because there was the kit plus the initiation fee. And for that $600, I got 9 products. Now you get like however many for $200. It's just such a great opportunity today for such a less experience. And, people just don't understand like that's what we're trying to get across to them. Like this opportunity is so huge. You can invest $200 or steal $300 from your son's piggy bank like Amy did, and you can build a multi-million-dollar empire. And I'm not to the $1 million club yet, but I will be. And I cannot tell you the experience that I've had coming from the place of, well, I just want something safe for my family, learning about the compensation plan and saying, okay, I'm going to go all in, and then going all in and being within the first 12 people in the company to earn my car. I mean, I had a broken down minivan. We had 2 minivans. My husband had one and I had one. And that's what I got to trade in when actually that's not even true. I gave my husband my minivan and we gave his minivan to a friend of mine who was a single mom who didn't have a car. So we were able to gift his car to someone who needed one when I got my car. So that was a huge blessing because it is all about I know all of us here, we're all about the charity and giving as much as we can. So this business has really brought an incredible things to my family and incredible experiences. And one of those experiences that I had zero idea that God was setting me up for, because my daughter was in school then, but she's 16 now and she's now homeschooling. I couldn't do what we do daily. And we have so much fun homeschooling, and she's getting ready to start her own business at 16. Like we have so much fun with it. I couldn't do this if I was at work. So we get to sit right across the bar from each other, work all day together. We have a blast, and it's a beautiful life. And I just couldn't be more grateful.
Oh my gosh, I have chill bumps.
I just
hearing you say it's a beautiful life, because When we looked at those stats a little while ago, if you've got, 40% of people can't pay their student loans, half of Americans don't have $300 in savings, then there are a lot of people out there who are not currently experiencing a beautiful life. They're struggling. I'm married to a police officer. We have 4 sons. We lived paycheck to paycheck for the first 17 years of our marriage. We'll be married 25 years this year. We had no savings. We rented 4 different houses across 9 years because we couldn't buy a house. So I love all the different backgrounds, all the reasons that people say yes to this opportunity. And if you're watching this replay, let me just give you some stats about Monat. So in the first year, Monat was hoping to do at least $1 million in revenue. We did 25 million. We were blown away with where this is going. As of last year, Monat, we became a billion with a B, in 5 years just with hair care. We hadn't launched skincare yet. We hadn't launched wellness, not body care, nothing, just hair care. We became a $1 billion company. As of September of 2021, we were a $2.3 billion company. Monat had paid out $1.1 billion in commissions in 7 years. And now we are officially the #1 selling premium hair care brand in the world. Not just the United States, not just Canada, not just Europe, not just all the other countries we're in, Lithuania, Spain, Ireland, now Australia, but in the entire world. So the only other company that sells more shampoo than us is L'Oreal. And they have it in your supermarkets and everything like that. So that's why this opportunity is so huge. And we know that further global expansion is coming very, very soon. They're talking like it could be later this year. So just an incredible opportunity. So if you're watching the replay, wherever you are right now, I would just like you to kind of close your eyes for a minute and think about what it would feel like if you were in a different place 1 year from now. What would it feel like if you weren't having to check that balance on the checkbook before you went to the grocery store? Because all 3 of us have been there. What would it feel like if you could, say yes to going on family vacations or whatever you have to say no to now? What would it feel like to say yes to all of that?
And I have another thing I'd like to add to that, because I've recently met quite a few people who are not in this and were never in this for income. They are in this because they really needed a circle of community of supportive people. They've had really not so great relationships in their past with friends and so on and so forth. And they've really, really dug into the community that we offer and the supportiveness that we offer. So people join for that income, but they also join for this community. And we have celebrities in this business. They certainly aren't here for the income. And we have nurses, and we have stylists, and we have moms, and we have
teachers,
and we have teachers and attorneys, and it's just all walks of life. And I think that that's one of the most fun things about it, because there's never an event that you go to that you're not meeting somebody else that has just some other flair to them that makes your life better.
That is so
build
true.
That beautiful life for yourself.
Absolutely.
The office building that we rented our office in, a doctor owned it, and he retired himself with we weren't around them, but another direct sales company that was like nutritionals, because he never saw his family. And now, I have chills again, now they travel the world, and he offers his services to, third world countries. His wife homeschools the kids, and they just travel because he wanted a life, So yeah, you never know, people might need the money, the friends, they might need a life because they're working so hard just to be able to pay all their bills.
Oh my gosh, that was us. I mean, this is just giving me just flashbacks, Joe is a police officer. He was working nights. I was working in corporate America days. We had 4 kids. We would literally see each other coming and going. And every day was just a financial struggle, and it was not fun. So, wherever you are in this, like I said, close your eyes and just imagine what it would feel like if you were in a different place 6 months from now, a year from now. You could be in a different place 3 months from now. But like I said, we all just got back from Vegas just last week. And that's an annual trip. Monat's going to start the qualification period on that in just a couple of months. Now is a great time. Go ahead and become a market partner. Start building up your customer base, because this trip is the easiest one to earn. It's completely based just on your own sales. And it's not some exorbitant amount that you have to have, but you can have a couple of months to get settled into your business and then earn that next trip. Be with us in Vegas next April and just have fun. They pay for your hotel, they pay for your flights, and what you receive there with the people, like Inza was talking about, the community and the culture, and it's just fun. It's like a vacation that somebody else pays for. Yeah. So just think about that, but besides the vacations, besides the car, which you don't even have to be at the top of the company to earn, the community and the culture is pretty darn amazing. So anybody want to add anything before we say goodnight tonight?
Two things. I was going to say, you, me, Inza, we're all on different teams, if you will, just speaking of culture, and we all work together and do trainings. And one other thing, because I think a lot of people think when you join, a direct sales company that you're required to buy all these products every month. We have no quotas. I think
I'm so glad you mentioned that. So glad. That is the biggest question I get is, do I have to buy something every month?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
I think we're the only company that they don't make us buy stuff. We want to buy stuff, but if you have a bad month, what'd you say?
We have 0 monthly fees. You have to renew your contract once a year for $50. I mean,
that's it.
That's it.
I mean, it really is that easy.
The one thing I would like to say before we go is one thing that I think people get, they get a little bit in their heads that it's like, well, what would people think? Or they think, well, I can just, post on social media and everyone's going to come running to me. So I want you, if you're listening to this on the replay, I want you to hear something. I want you to hear that this business is super simple. Yes, Amy just mentioned that we're not on the same teams, but we share systems, we share the things that we do. And I'll tell you what, I have some of the closest people in my life from this business that I did not know before I started this business, bar none, right? But we have systems that will help you do everything every step of the way. Day one, day two, day three. I mean, it's super simple. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that you have to have some ambition and you have to have some drive that you want to do this for your reason why. Our reasons why may not be the same as yours. So you have to determine what's the reason that you want to make this change. And we're going to help you explore that. And we're going to help you really dig into what that why is for yourself. And when you do that, then you're going to fall back and say, okay, I can easily do day one. I can easily do day two. And I'm going to still be here doing day 30 because I know exactly why I'm here and why I want to make this change in my life. And it could be for anything. But I just want you to hear that it's the ambition and the drive behind everything. And we'll teach you all the rest. That stuff's all teachable. You have to have your own ambition. And I promise you, if you have that, you'll be walking that MDC $1 Million Club stage at some point in your life because it's doable. Our compensation plan is built for that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We have
Once you know your why and you...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Amy.
I think we probably have 80-ish millionaires we have couple 5 million and a few 10 million, but that's unheard of at this, we're still kind of a baby company. And the comp plan pays out 50%. So on every dollar they bring in, 50 cents goes back to the field, meaning the reps and all. So
there's a very popular company that's been around like almost close to 60 years.
Yeah.
They're a primarily makeup skincare type of company. Mm-hmm. And I believe the statistic we were given is they have 60. No, I'm sorry. I think it's 82 millionaires.
Wow.
And they've been around 58 years. Wow. So when I tell you guys, I looked at this compensation plan because I was here for a business. I wasn't jumping into something that was not going to change our lives financially. And it's been such a bonus to have all the other changes.
Yeah.
Those were just a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And we're just getting started. We've got more global expansion coming. We've got products coming. Yeah, our annual convention is in September in St. Louis. They're going to launch new things. I tell you this, everything that Monat does, they do very, very well. Best skincare I've ever used. Love our wellness, our body care, just off the charts. I can't wait to see what they come out with next. So thank you, ladies, for spending some time with me this evening. As usual, we'll see you next Thursday evening, same time, same place. And I will upload the video, and anybody can share it if somebody couldn't hop on tonight. So thank you so much. Bye. Have a good night.
You too. Good night.